Hi everybody, we're gonna do another makeup today. I'm thinking of doing a Thai inspired makeup style and I really hope I'd be able to achieve it. I find that most of their styles are pretty bridal, kind of a mix of East Asian looking, so we'll see. Let's pin this hair up. I've had people ask me in person whether I curl my hair. I actually have a naturally wavy hair, so as you can see, it's not even. The ones on my bottom hair are straight, but the ones on top are more curly. So to answer the question, I do not curl my hair. I noticed that with high makeup, they usually brush their eyebrows up. I have here my e.l.f. Clear Brow Mascara, which I'm going to use for my eyebrows. So I'm only going to brush them up. There was another makeup style that I'm wanting to do, but since my eyebrows right now are quite thick and I feel like I should do this makeup first before I move on and trim my eyebrows to fit the other makeup style. Next is for my skin. I really want to have that glowy, dewy kind of skin, so I'm gonna use my Lumi Glotion first. This is from L'Oreal. Next is foundation, so I'm going to use my Marcel Flawless Luminous Foundation. I find that when I'm doing all these makeup, I don't talk a lot and I really need to work on that if I plan to keep on doing these makeup videos. If you have any topic that you want me to talk about, I think you should write it down so I would know what kind of topic that you guys want me to talk to you. Next are concealers, so I'm going to use my skin tone concealer to cover my blemishes. And with a lighter concealer, I'm just going to try to lighten some parts of face here. Alright, next is the eyeshadow, so I'm going to use my Morphe makeup palette. My husband told me to talk about how I got to Canada, so I guess that's what I'm going to be talking about. So I got to Canada. I'd say that I just got lucky that my parents lived in the States for a while and that when they applied for immigration here in Canada, it was easier for them. When they decided to take me and my siblings to either Canada or the States, they chose Canada because when they applied for both the green card in the States and the permanent residency here in Canada, Canada was looking for people, so I guess that came first, so they decided to just come here to Canada. They picked me and my siblings up from the Philippines, from the States, and then came here to Canada. But my parents were just so used to the life that they had in the States that they find it hard in Canada, especially with the weather. It's very snowy here and very cold, so they went back to the States. But at that time, I was already in university, which was very hard to get into, coming from a country that didn't have K-12 at that time, so that was very hard to transition from one university to another because they don't take my university courses, but even my high school courses, they said that it's not equivalent, so they said that I should go back to high school, and I was already third year in university at that time. It's either I take like the high school courses from university, which I can finish for a few months, but I'd have to pay, or I can go back to a normal high school, but it's going to be a couple of years before I get into university. And then me being an immigrant and coming from the Philippines where I was already a third year student, I just wanted to finish it right away. So I opted to take high school courses in university rather than go back to an actual high school. I just took the high school courses in university and then I went into open studies, which you can take courses to get into the program that I wanted to get into. And I wanted to get into the accelerated program just so I can finish university right away, because I compared myself to my classmates in the Philippines, which you should not do, but that's what I did. I guess that was kind of like my inspiration to finish fast. So after I took the high school courses in university, I went into open studies so I can take the requirements for the accelerated program, which thankfully I got in. And then I did university for like 2.5 years, and then I went into the workforce. I just need to lighten the middle corners of my eyes, so I'm gonna use my light concealer. Now, how did I find transitioning from the universities in the Philippines to here? I found that they are quite different and they both have their pros and cons, of course. I find that the training in the Philippines, that it's very structured and that there's a lot of memorizing and definitely discipline that you need to be doing for yourself. But university here in Canada, I find that there's more independence on how you wanted to go with your program. And sometimes when you go into classroom, they don't even take your attendance because they would be like, well, you know what, you paid for it, like it's up to you if you wanted to complete your program or not. Because if you don't go into class, like how else are you gonna learn? At that time, there's not a lot of internet and resources, so you really would need to like stick to the program if you really wanted to learn. So I find it different in both ways. To put glitter in the corners of my eyes, I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. I'm gonna use the Summer shade first. Transitioning, I would say that schools in the Philippines teach you English very well, and that really helped with my English proficiency, I think, or in my opinion, it does actually help with your English proficiency. But also at the same time, I feel like I'm able to understand English better when it's written rather than when it's spoken, because even if they're all English, they still have like differences, and you would still feel the difference in conversation English versus the academic English. You eventually adapt to it, but it's definitely a struggle coming from an immigrant going to university right away. But I find nowadays there's better ways to come to Canada or like to get education in Canada than what I experienced. I'm gonna put a little bit of Egosol on my bottom lids. Again, I know it looks freaky, but trust the process. I will be using a dark brown to line my bottom lashes. And then using a brown pencil liner, I'm going to tight line my eyes. With a black pencil liner, felt tip one, I'm going to tight line my eyes, but only with a very thin line. Cluster lashes. I will be using my Felicia cluster lashes. I got this from Amazon. Size 8 on the outer corner and the same as on the inner corner, and then I will gradually have bigger sizes right here in the middle. For the bottom lashes, I will be using this one. I got my eyelashes from Amazon. I'm gonna blend the rest of what's on my face. I find that the longer the video runs, I just keep getting quieter and quieter because I forget to talk. My eyebrows. So I find that with Thai makeup, they like thick brows, which is what I am doing currently. And for the rest of the contour, I will be using my e.l.f. Halo Glow. And I'm just gonna blend them in place. Next is bronzer. I just would like to do that really nice sun-kissed right above my contour. For blush, and just for a filtered look, I actually like putting on a finishing powder. Next is highlighter. I like using my Maybelline highlighter on my lips. To line my lips, I'll be using my Revlon lip liner. Then with a Q-tip, I'd like to blend that out. Then using Makeup by Mario lipstick. That's it for the face, and then I'm just gonna fix my hair for the whole makeup look.